Think of a video game right now. Go on. You probably thought of popular titles like Hollow Knight and Fallout, Grand Theft Auto, and Red Dead Redemption. Now think of the first video game. Are you thinking of Pong? Or heck, you could be thinking about its precursor, Tennis for Two. Well, you're wrong. The first video game is named Bertie, Bertie the Brain. Welcome to Fascinating Firsts, the show where I talk about firsts that fascinate me. This episode, video games. So in 1950, at the Canadian National Exhibition, a man named Joseph Cates had shown off a device that he had built. This device, named Bertie the Brain, was a device that you could play tic-tac-toe against, or using its real name, noughts and crosses. Joseph Cates had designed Bertie to show off his Adatron tube, which was a smaller version of the vacuum tube. But that's the boring stuff. How did Bertie work? I hear you screaming into your screens. Firstly, quiet down. Secondly, you would have a grid of 9 blocks and you could place an X or an O, depending on your shape, into one of the blocks. Bertie would then place an X or an O, depending on its shape, into a box that it wanted. You know how these things work, you know how to play tic-tac-toe. But apparently, she had multiple difficulty levels and was said to be unbeatable at the hardest level. Also, at the hardest level, she would make moves instantly. And that's a little fun fact for you. Unfortunately, Bertie was eventually scrapped, and her purpose of showing off the Adatron tubes was largely lost. Joseph Cates said that he was too busy to put energy into preserving Bertie. A video game, or at least a precursor to video games, was built in 1950. Now that's a fascinating first if I've ever seen one. And in my research, I did see that games on video were being developed before this, but they didn't fit the definition of video games and technically didn't count. A fun fact, in 1948, Alan Turing and David Champ, Champernone, 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 this guy, designed a chess game that was too complex to play on computers that they had at the time. There are lots of little games between then and roughly the 1970s. Some text-based, some not. A lot of games weren't gaining popularity because people just weren't interested in playing them, and people weren't skilled enough to make them. However, in 1972, we get to the aforementioned Pong, widely considered to be the first video game, at least from what I had seen. But side note, the aforementioned Tennis for Two actually predates Pong by about 14 years. It was made in 1958. There's a lot more information that I definitely could go deeper on if you wanted me to. It's a very interesting and rich topic. There are a lot of games, consoles, and history to talk about. I wanted to talk about Bertie today specifically, and I did. So I would love to thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this is on the shorter end. I wanted to get a video out while I work on other projects, and recently learned about Bertie the Brain while watching an episode of Smosh. Let me know about your relationship with video games. I love them. They're great. Let me know what you learned in this video and comment your favorite game. If you don't play games, tell me what your favorite game would be. I love hypotheticals. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on Fascinating Firsts. Au revoir.